Hey guys, it's Xavier Rose here, and I actually wanted to start a series on believability of paganism and witchcraft in TVs and film. Now, I probably won't get into things like Charmed and Buffy and things where the plot of it is powered by witchcraft. Maybe movies like The Craft and The Covenant. However, I really wanted to start with, and it bugs me because I've been watching a lot of these reviews lately of a 1988 film called Child's Play. Everyone's seen it, I'm sure, or everyone's at least seen the Chucky series, or they've seen the franchise of Child's Play, or maybe they've even seen the remake from 2019. What I want to talk about is the believability in a particular scene between Charles Lee Ray, who is Chucky, the antagonist, but him and his mentor of Haitian Voodoo, who is John. So I really want to look at the believability and the culpability of the voodoo being practiced in these films, because the comments are constantly... First, let's watch the scene. Let's watch the scene and then we'll debrief. Alright, let's watch this.
Hello, John. Over here. Hi. It's me,
Uncanny
Chucky.
Valley.
What do you think? The gree work? You know, when I came here learning all that stuff about how to beat death, I thought maybe you were pulling my chain. But not now. Not now. Only one problem.
What?
This. I didn't think anybody could hurt me. But last night I got shot. You know something? It hurt. It hurt like a son of a bitch. It even bled. Now, why is that, John?
They were
You're turning human.
What?
The more time you spend in that body, the more human you become.
You mean I have to live out the rest of my life in this body? No fucking way! You got me into this, you get me out.
I can't do that, Chucky.
Why not?
Because you're an abomination. An outrage against nature. You perverted everything I've taught you and used it for evil, and you have to be stopped.
You know?
Here it comes. So this is the scene I'm talking about particularly. This spot right here where Chucky kills John. Now you can see it all the Haitian voodoo artifacts, the stereotypical Haitian voodoo priest who has all the saints and the altar devoted to Damballa. Just watch.
I thought something like this might happen. That's why I prepared for it.
What are you talking about?
Your own personal mojo, Doc.
Give me that.
Sure. How do you want it? Broken leg?
Ah!
Shouldn't tell your customers where you hide things like this, John. Gets you in trouble every time. Now, how do I get out of this body?
No, I won't tell you.
Yeah? Tell me you died, John. Your choice.
No, I'll tell you. You had to transfer your soul out of the doll into that of the first human being you revealed your true self to.
You mean the first person I let in on the fact that I was really alive? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. The first person I let in on my little secret was a 6-year-old kid. I'm gonna be 6 years old again. Well, John, it's been fun, but I gotta go. I have a date with a 6-year-old boy. And you have a date with death. So long, John.
It's a creative way to kill someone off in a film, especially when the vehicle of how Chucky became Chucky, the doll, was a last minute arrangement change in the script, because if you know the history of the film was actually supposed to be a doll whose essence was the evil side of Andy. So the comments I'm talking about are constant things such as, why would you have your own voodoo doll in the first place? Why would you tell people where it is? And couldn't he just not have a voodoo? This is what I want to talk about, right? So I did record the rest of this video, but then I realized I left my screen capture device on and I didn't record. So we'll do it again. So let's look at the believability of John and Chucky's relationship first. Number one, why is John associating with Chucky? He's a Lakeshore Strangler. Number two, Dumbala is a positive entity in the Haitian voodoo practices, and he's not a baneful entity spirit at all. So I don't understand the connection between. I think whoever made... I know that voodoo was a split-second change in the script right before filming. The whole thing about it is, I think someone's heard the word Dambala and said, "What's that?" "Oh, it's Haitian voodoo." So then the person who came up with this plot device of voodoo is a plot device here, because it's totally retconned from Child's Play 2 to 3. So Dambala and voodoo and Haitian voodoo as a practice is a core plot device for Chucky in Child's Play. But in Child's Play 2, the ritual itself is mentioned as a plot device to get Chucky and Andy together in Child's Play 2, and then again the same way in Child's Play 3 when Chucky realizes, oh, I've told Tyler that my secret is that I'm Charles Lee Ray, so I need to transfer. Which doesn't make sense, because the first person he actually told was Andy, even though Andy, he's alive again, whatever. So let's deal with that. I don't understand that. That's just not proper Haitian voodoo conduct. For someone who is practicing Haitian voodoo to interact with someone who would defile or give Haitian voodoo a terrible name, it's just beyond me. Number two, is it far-fetched that John would have a voodoo doll? Absolutely fucking not. Number one, he's a voodoo priest. Number two, let's look at the idea of a voodoo doll itself. Voodoo dolls, or puppets, or corn dollies, are vehicles or devices used, or vessels used for sympathetic magic. Say your friend Jane has hepatitis, and until she can get to a doctor in 2 weeks' time, you ask her, is it alright if I do a spell for you? Is it okay if I give you this doll full of, is it that okay? First you would find out if that was okay first. And then you would take 2 pieces of fabric in the shape of a person and sew them together. Either you would give it a naming ceremony or state the intention, this doll is Jane. Or you would sew her name into it. This puppet, this voodoo doll, represents Jane. And you would stuff it full of herbs and goodies that would represent, and symbols that would represent health and healing and well-being. And that is what a voodoo doll is. Another voodoo doll, or a puppet, or a corn dolly, for instance, a clay doll with symbols etched into it, and maybe you put it in a jar full of salt water, and you keep it in this jar, and that symbolizes a cone of protection around you or somebody. I've never made a puppet for me, but I know people who have. I know people in the pagan circle of YouTube who have in fact done that. Yes. Have I done a puppet for other people? Yes. For Baneful Magic? Yes. The whole point of a puppet is to represent and help the magician or the witch or the priest visualize, have a vehicle or a vessel to visualize their intention on, to focus their intentions on. That is the point. But puppets aren't just dolls, they're figurines. Let's look at corn dollies in Native American practices. For instance, corn dollies would be placed around the homes of Native Americans who were wanting to be parents. They wanted fertility, and to represent children in their home, they'd make these little corn dollies. A jack-o'-lantern is just another form of a puppet. It's to ward off evil spirits, being the face of evil itself, warding it off. And it's the face of evil, therefore it's scaring it off. It is a puppet. When we're looking at puppets or voodoo dolls or corn dollies or a dolly itself, whether it's a Susie Sings doll, a Barbie doll, or a handmade doll, it represents what you intend it to represent. Is it out of pocket that John would have a doll of himself? Absolutely not. Would he tell someone where it is? I don't know. Maybe he was liberal like that. Me, I'm very traditional with my practice. I don't let anyone see my altar. Anyone on here, you've never seen my altar. Ever. No one on Facebook has seen my altar. No one on Instagram has seen my altar. No one on TikTok has seen my altar. No one has ever seen my altar but me. Maybe a house guest has seen it and asked about it, and I just tell them, oh yeah, that's just my spooky wookie shelf. No one sees my altar at all. If you can visualize me sitting in front of that altar, you've won me over, and I ain't having that. So would I tell you where I keep my dolly that I infuse my essence in and use for sympathetic magic when I am sick myself? Absolutely hell fucking no. Especially if you're the Lakeshore Strangler. That to me is not believability. But if we are saying things such as, if we are to believe that voodoo is an actual legitimate vehicle for this plot, Chucky should know that he could have just made his own puppet. Why did he need John's? Well, maybe time is of the essence. He didn't have time, didn't have the resources to do it, right? Why is John bargaining? Why is he not bargaining with this dolly, with Chucky, saying, actually, you need a Damballa high priest to do it, like, to keep you alive? That's what I'm thinking. I don't understand. Here's the thing when it comes to putting occult practices as a device, as a plot device in your film or book. Stephen King did not do a good job of Native American practices when it came to the smoke hole and the ritual it should. Anyone can disagree and say, no, I think he did. He did a shit job of explaining the background and the reason Native Americans do smoke ceremonies. So don't use it as a plot device if you can't explain it. If you don't know the history of it or you don't know how it works, why would you put it in there for people like me or other occultists to say, actually, no. And I'm not going into things like cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation is not a real thing. Let's look at that, okay? Culture is culture. It's shareable. That's why we have multiculturalism. I don't want to talk about the believability of something if you can't explain it properly in your film. You can't just accept the audience you can't expect the audience to accept it and then fill in the gaps and know how voodoo works. Because a lot of people say, that's a voodoo doll. Wait, why does he have his own... Why would he have... Right? We can't expect the public to fill in the gaps. And a lot of people say, yeah, but it's just a movie. Yeah, but this just movie is a franchise that retcons its audience a million times over and doesn't deserve the praise it gets. Child's Play franchise is a joke right now, at the moment. It has become the biggest joke. It started out as these awesome slasher films that really took away from the Freddys, the Jasons, the Michael Myers, the Pinheads. It took away all of those and put slashers on film in a way that wasn't a typical man in overalls or a hat with a knife or razor fingers. And it put it into something that your child most definitely has in their toy box in their bedroom. It was a serious horror film to now it's not scary anymore. It's worn itself off. Right? The whole point of Child's Play is that for the first 60 minutes of this film, we don't see Chucky at all. So we don't even know if Chucky is actually alive. And if it was Andy. It ruins it now. Chucky is everywhere. He's everything for this franchise now. Don Mancini ruined Child's Play. He created it and he ruined it in one foul sweep. As soon as Bride, Seed, and Cult happened, the curse of Chucky happened, out the window. I haven't even seen Curse or Cult, and I haven't even seen the TV series, but I've seen clips in 3-minute chunks on TikTok. Like I've seen I think we've all watched Young Sheldon in 10-minute chunks on TikTok. It's ruined. It's ruined. It's not black comedy. It's not a black horror. It is just a failed parody of what it used to be. It's like trying to take Scary Movie and make it serious. Or trying to take Scream and make it funny. Which they already did and it works. So, why put this plot device in a film if you're going to retcon it every time you use it? Oh, I can't do it unless I have the heart of Damballa. Really? Because the last 3 films, motherfucker, you have been trying to get this kid and put his soul in the body. The point is that I think they realized in Bride of Chucky that they fucked up. The plot device of Voodoo here is Chucky first told his secret to the guy he kills or sits on the face of in Bride, and he's dead. He can't transfer his soul to him. But anyway, that's all I've got to say about that. Would John have a puppet? Yes. Would he tell people where it is? No, not really. Not useful. Oh, I have no idea why they just came up. Whatever that is. Would he be associated with Chucky? Absolutely fucking not. Why would he? Absolutely not. I don't know. I don't know. It's a whole thing. Series 2 come. Blessed be everyone. Love, peace, and applesauce. Have a great week. See you later.